The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Relindair, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I'll be playing Jacqueline Duron of Clan Ventrue.
Hello, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening, I am the Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Acres, Clan Tremere.
I'm Brad, Timber Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hikata.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra.
And episode 9, everybody. Almost to the end of the season. Last week was, once again, a lot of the coterie doing their own thing, but it's covering a lot of plotting, a lot of future things here. We had the ladies plotting the demise of somebody. Separately and together, actually. We had Roscoe and Nicholas down at the shop of the tongue. Well, that's just where it came from. Lamar went and taunted, well, a bunch of Italian gentlemen. And speaking of that, that's about where we're going to have to pick up a few nights later. When Lamar is down, you're checking on your interest in the south side, Lamar. Trying to keep an eye on what's yours, of course. When a van pulls up beside you, big old white cargo van.
Now, do I recognize this van?
No, you don't recognize this van. This is not Winneca's van. But when the door opens, 2 men in suits step out, and a third man who's wearing, well, I wouldn't say man, a third individual. Blue jeans. He's wearing a t-shirt. Got almost bat-like ears, long, protruding teeth, wrinkled skin. It's clear this is a Nosferatu. And it's actually the Nosferatu speaks. Mr. Cade.
Evening.
You've been causing some trouble, I think. Think you need to come with us.
Me cause trouble? I'm sorry, maybe this is just a big mistake. What do you think it is that I've done?
Well, I think the mistake was going in that restaurant and then going out and busting up some cars.
Oh, shit.
Now, we can do this the easy way. Or, well, we can do it the fun way.
See, you say that, but I don't think it'll be fun in the way you think it would be fun. But I'm going to humor you. I'm going to go with you because I'm curious. So just, neither one of you touch me. He points at the two suited gentlemen. Either one of you touch me, I punch you in the dick. And he will get into the van of his own personage.
And one of the guys you're pointing at, he looks at the other one. He's wanting to play. I think we should let him try. I think we should touch him out of general principle. And you hear the other one turn his neck and it starts cracking a bit. Yeah, this will be real fun.
Boys, he looks at the Nosferatu. I'm gonna say it once. Call your boys off.
They're not my boys. They just work for the same man I do. But I tell you what, you don't want us to touch you? He throws you a silk bag. Put this over your head.
This is some real 1870s bullshit. And he will put the silk bag over his head, and then he will make his way towards the van.
You get in the van and you hear the door shut, and you can hear the movement of all three men in the back with you. But you can't see a thing. You're not quite sure how long. I mean, you have a guess, but without being able to see your watch. 20, 30 minutes. It's a lot of turns. You're pretty sure they're trying to make sure you don't know exactly where you're going. But then you feel the vehicle, it goes down a bit. Almost like down a ramp. Comes to a stop. Leave the bag on. We're going to have to touch you unless you want to stumble your way, but leave the bag on.
Be gentle, it's my first time.
Well, I can tell you now. The boss don't like what you got to say. It's going to be your last time. And the one who actually guides you out, you can tell by the feel of it, it's definitely not the two ham-fisted men in suits. It's the Nos guiding you. And you walk forward and you step onto a platform and starts to drop down. You're on some sort of elevator. Goes down for a minute or two. You hear the door open. And the first thing you smell when you hear the door open, even through the hood, is cigar smoke.
Okay. Does with the cigar smoke, is there anything like? I mean, do I smell like water, mold, anything else through the?
Nope. But the bag's ripped off your head, and you're actually standing in a hallway. It's got rich wood walls on both sides. It's not the tacky 70s paneling. It's more of actually looks like they've lined it with real wood. Looks like well-aged oak would be your guess. And it actually is just a hallway that leads to a door. And the door is actually open at the end, and you can see part of a desk beyond it. And the Nosferatu and his two buddies are standing there behind you, actually. Just go down in the hall. Boss is in there. And if you want some advice, don't threaten to punch him in the dick.
I would never do that. And Lamar will walk towards the door, mumbles to himself. And then
Couldn't hear what you mumbled, thank God.
he will enter the room.
Sitting behind a desk in there, actually wearing a purple suit, just like the picture shows, is somebody you don't recognize in real life, but you've seen the pictures. This man's famous. One Al Capone is actually sitting behind the desk. As you come in, you see him move the papers off the desk. Yeah, Mr. Cade.
Good evening.
Why don't you have a seat so we can talk?
You know what? Conduct business like men. Sure, why not? And he will go ahead and sit down in the seat across from Al Capone.
So, why are you starting problems with my boys, first of all?
It was a little bit of a heavy-handed way to go about it, but I really needed to, I wanted to see you. And they were rude. I didn't help, but they were rude. Look, this whole thing that's going on right now on the south side, where your guys are killing cops and whoever you're shooting at is killing cops. It's got to stop. You're going to ruin everything for everybody down.
My guys aren't killing any cops. Don't know where you've heard that from, but it's certainly not us. Don't you blame that freak that hides in the damn sewers. Blame him for it.
Look, I can't tell your guys and his guys apart. So I'm trying the old fashioned, hey, let's all just stop doing this before we bring down heat that none of us are gonna.
It's exactly why my boys wouldn't do it. They know what happens when you start shooting cops in the street. It's bad for business, always has been.
Absolutely.
See, that still doesn't fix the problem of you're in there, you're bothering my people. Obviously, you know I'm here. You see where that causes me a slight inconvenience and a problem. So why don't we have a better discussion? Why the fuck should I let you out of this building?
Oh, I've got a few very compelling reasons. I'll start with the most obvious one. If I don't leave this building, Tally the Hound will turn this place into Beirut. You think what I did was unkind? He will actually skin your guys up and leave them hanging from light poles by their entrails.
You've got powerful friends, don't you?
Yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So hey, you can go ahead and ask me, but when I don't report back, just know that you brought it on yourself.
So, you had to have more than that for a reason. I know you want something else other than that. You could have passed this message without doing what you did. You're looking for money, position. I know how this works. People don't come looking for me unless they're wanting something.
You know what? You're right. I do want something. Now, like I said, it's in everybody's best interest if this whole thing dies down pretty fast. Um, but you already know who I am, and you know the good work that I do. Um, I'm sure that some of your other associates let you know that.
We looked into you. I know about your ties to the area. I know about your that church you've been seen at. I know about your gangs. I'm going to tell you now, I don't have a long-term interest in the South Side. If you want the South Side, when I'm done, you can have it.
But when are you going to be done? Because that could be 50 years from now, 100 years from now, and that's time that neither of us might have.
Well, depends. Depends on how long it takes before that burnt freak finally realizes he's outclassed. And how long before my friends get done what they need done. But you can bet I don't want South Side. I've got something else in mind. But if you want it, we can work a deal. Very easy deal.
And what does your deal entail?
Find out everything you can about this one-eyed cave freak. Help me get rid of him. And then Southside can be yours. Once I'm done my other business. But I can tell you now, the business I have won't interfere with whatever you've got planned. So once this one-eyed cave freak is dealt with, well, you can just start setting up all the shop you want. My boys won't mess with you except for, one or two places I'd rather not have you busting into again. Other than that, we won't be in your way. That's your choice. Or we can go the other route and long, violent struggle, and eventually Tally comes down here and, well, he's dangerous. But when he starts showing up murdering people, well, that's bad for everyone's business. Yours, mine, the whole city's. Matter of fact, as I recall, the last city he went and ran amok in, well, Lucinda. Chicago. Lucinda would love to hear he's coming back, wouldn't she?
Oh, I bet she would, but then she'd be in our collective asses for the next 2-3 decades, and no one would have a peaceful day's sleep.
You see why this is a catch-22. I kill you. Tally comes and retaliates. Lucinda shows up, and everyone loses. You kill me, my friends retaliate. Tally shows up. Everyone loses. So if you want to win, get me what I want. You can have the South Side, you win. Me and my associates get what we want, we win. Everyone walks away happy.
So it sounds like we have a common enemy. One-Eyed King.
Well, I'm sure as hell know that he wouldn't share Southside with you if you went to him.
No, probably not. So, you keep your boys away from my interest. I keep my boys away from your interests. And when this is all done, which let's put a timer on it. Let's give it a few months. I think we can wrap this up.
If we can wrap up One-Eyed K, sure.
And then all your guys leave the South Side. You do whatever you're going to do. And
Well, we're not
Never
going to
explain
leave,
to
but
them.
we're not going to interfere with your stuff. We've got a few of our own businesses, legitimate businesses, of course, that we've got to maintain. But we won't get in the way of yours. We know you and your boys like to handle the drug trade. You can have it. We don't want it. We're not going to be down here causing problems for you. The associates I'm working with have no interest in causing problems in the South Side.
And who are those interests? Just so that, I and mine don't accidentally step on that and break this little deal we got going.
That's not your concern. You want to step on those interests, go ahead. That's for them to deal with you.
Like I said, I prefer not to do it even accidentally.
You're not going to
I
find
mean-
that out, get that out of me. Come on now.
Hey, I'm trying to open the lines of communication. We deal straight enough with each other. I'm not saying we'll sit down and have coffee together or anything, but
No. We know the deal's on the table. Take it or leave it. It's up to you.
you know what? Sure. All right.
Nick out there, he'll contact you from time to time to see if you found anything useful on this One-Eyed K person. Nick is the Nosferatu out there. Friend of mine.
Nick. Got it.
You hear him raise his voice, Nick, take him out. And you hear the door open up. And in steps Nick holding that bag again.
Is this shit really necessary?
Oh, yeah. You're not going to be able to tell people where I am. Not that I'll be here after tonight. Just to make sure.
So
Come on, you know the game.
yeah. Yeah, I know the game.
Nick hands you the hood. Do you put it on?
Well, Mr. Capone, I suppose I'll hear from you in the near future.
Oh, you'll definitely hear from someone, probably Nick. And Nick, you hear him kind of chuckle a bit.
Yeah. I wouldn't do any of that sneaking up on me shit, Nick. Not a good idea. I'm jumpy as a motherfucker and I have trust issues, so.
And Nick just kind of leans closer because you can feel him close to the hood. Had you swung that hammer a little bit behind you, you might have hit me the other night. Obviously, not that good at telling when somebody's up on you, huh? I could have kissed you.
You also could have gotten your head cracked. So 50-50.
Remember that one, though. And you're led back to the elevator. And you can tell the two goons are definitely on the elevator with you. Because you can hear their suits as it rides up. And once again, you're stuffed in a van. And then driven right back to where they picked you up, actually, right on the street. And they take your hood off before they put you out of the van.
Oh, no parting gift?
Not this time. You know. Gotta at least buy me dinner before I get you a gift.
Well, you know what? If you're going to play hard to get, I'm here. I'm here.
Don't worry. I'll get you. You can bet on that.
Ooh, so excited. As for you guys, os lasagna, don't get any on you.
And one of them looks at you and he kind of does his neck again and cracks it.
You should see a doctor about that.
I'll be waiting for you to hit me in my nuts. Don't worry.
I'll give you a reach around. Promise.
We will meet again. You can rest assured of that one. There's a lot of dark alleys around here, man.
Yeah. Yeah, there are.
Then you exit the vehicle. And the van, as it pulls off, you notice it has no plates. Nothing for you to write down other than white cargo van. As Lamar's got to figure out what the hell to do now, other than, go real quick to snitch to the coterie. We're going to actually flash over because this is the same night this is happening. Isabella gets a text from Honor because Isabella had texted Honor about they needed to talk. And about a day or two later, she gets a text back, meet me at the Holy Name Cathedral. Downtown.
Does Isabella know anything about the cathedral?
Only that it's the seat of the Archdiocese of Chicago. Isabella doesn't strike me as a devoutly religious type, so I doubt she's spent much time there.
No, not at all. She's gonna leave, tell Amelia like where she's going.
Okay.
Then she'll head out.
When you arrive there, this is a gorgeous cathedral, very large and old cathedral at that, but it's gorgeous. Stonework outside, stained glass windows. When you go inside, it's just all, it's, I'm trying to think of the word for it, the decorations and adornments and the religious imagery is everywhere. But as you step into place, it's not very busy at this hour of night. It's not a night they're doing midnight mass, but church is open all night to many people. But when you step in, the first thing you notice is you see Honor sitting with a woman in a row about halfway down the church. On the left side, they're both sitting in a pew. And the woman she's sitting with, she's a light-skinned African-American woman. Her hair is all in cornrows, but she's wearing some sort of high-neck blouse, but there's something about her that even from this distance, you can feel that woman's presence sitting there.
Isabella will cautiously walk up to Honor.
Honor looks
Know
over.
that she's there.
Isabella, good to
Honor,
see
it's
you.
so good to see you.
Sorry I haven't been able to talk with you. I want you to introduce, this is my friend. This is Keisha Phillips. And Keisha looks at you and almost with a sing-song voice. Isabella, heard so much about you.
I'm sorry I have to meet you under such unfortunate circumstances.
Well, the Lord works mysteriously. Sometimes the Lord puts these trials for us. Poor Honor's always had such a trial. In time, maybe she will finally get her reward. And Honor you see her look at the woman and just smile at her. So, and then Honor's, so what's up with Decker? I know you said it was important, something about him, but.
Before, storyteller, before we do that, can I use the Ventru Sam perk to see if I could get any information about Keisha.
Yes, you can. This is the clan merit of Keisha. Now, from what you understand of Keisha, first of all, she's known to hang out a lot at the Church of the Holy Gospel Spirit, of all places, Indianapolis normally. But that's not the important part. You actually once heard it mentioned. Actually, you didn't have the context of it. But Keisha is the child of a Luke Romus de Leon. Clan ministry.
Okay. So now that we have that, Tessa, or Honor, it's about Tessa. Have you spoken with her recently?
Last talked to Keisha or to Tessa about a month ago. She was working on some sort of project at the university there in Milwaukee. That whole thing, she always was researching that weird spot that she kept trying to explain to me that that spot where she said everything was wrong and her magic didn't work anymore, that kind of thing.
I received Decker's lapdog came in to my pub and, well, threatened me, essentially. So that they had kidnapped Tessa.
And you see a bit of the fire appear in Honor's eye where she gets that anger her temper is known for. That son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And Keisha sitting next to her goes, now, we're in the house of the Lord, child. We don't need to go that far, but I'm sure the Lord would agree with you. And Honor grins a bit at that. So what does he want?
You. But I think we all know that that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
I was hoping if you had any information on maybe where he might be keeping Tessa or something that we could use
He wouldn't keep
to
her
help
where I
find
know.
her.
He wouldn't even come close to keeping her where I know. Keisha, what about you? And Keisha actually looks over. And you notice in her hand, she's actually got rosary beads of all things. And she's just kind of holding them. I wouldn't know, but I know somebody who would. Felicia Page. She's, well, Nosferatu. She is not part of his court. You might say she hasn't announced herself to him. She's been lurking and she's a bit paranoid of him. So that also means she knows where all of his little hidey places are so she can avoid them. And Anna goes, Felicia, I haven't met her. Keisha goes, not a matter. She owes me. I can find out from her.
That mean you all are going to stick around for a bit then?
Well, Keisha looks over. We can't stay in the city for long, of course. It's safer where we were, but I will reach out to my people there, in particular, Felicia, and see what she finds out, and we will get back to you. And Anna goes, I can reach out to a few. I only have many contacts left because that dick kept me isolated, but wondering, I don't know, Karna's gone, so I don't know who she has there from even her clan that'll help her. I
know that she was... Go ahead.
You know any of the Tremere here in Chicago?
I do. I don't know if they know her, though. I plan on speaking with my associates later. quite soon, but I know that you were close with her, and if you know anyone else who might be able to help.
I'll see. I mean, I've got a few people I know. I know he's not going to take them to places where most of them are. I know a lot in the forestry service out that way, some of the parks and recs people, but I can get the word out to him. And Keisha just smiles. The Lord will provide. I can find some ways. I've got contacts out that way as well. Some that owe me favors. Can't allow him to do that.
No. He said that if you don't return honor, it won't stop with Tessa. It'll continue to go on, which I don't intend to allow to happen. I don't think anyone wants to allow to happen, but I can't do it all myself. I need help.
Then even if we get Tessa back, he's just going to grab somebody else. We're going to need to find a way to stop it. Keisha just looks over. It's easy, dear. You just have to die. Well, at least as far as he knows. Can't look if he can't find you. Can't look if you're dead.
I don't know if he believed that she was dead. He's gotten to the point where he's almost fanatical about it. Would he ever believe it?
There's ways. Don't worry. As I said, the Lord provides. And I put my faith in the Lord. We will find a way. Nana looks at her. I'm not going to go that far. I don't have that much trust in the Lord. But Keisha thinks she can figure a way to do it. That might be the only way to fix it. Reach out to your people, find out. I'll get back to you in a few days. Sure, Keisha. And Keisha just smiles. I'll take a trip to Milwaukee and find out what I can. I have free reign to travel all the domains around here.
Okay. Well, keep me updated then, I guess. We'll find a way to resolve this.
We will. We definitely will. And Keisha just smiles. Can't allow what he's doing. Can't just be taking people. It's just not right.
No. I have a storyteller question too.
Yes.
So is it clear that Keisha's rubbed off on Honor quite a bit since spending time with her? Or...
No, she obviously, actually, let's have it do it this way. Roll yourself. Let's do wits and insight.
Desire or vices?
Sure, you could use one of those. You can use your specialty for that. Go wits insight.
Great.
You get a willpower of that one because that's 8 dice with 2 successes. That's pretty unimpressive. Actually, that's impressive in a different way. 4 successes.
Impressively bad.
You believe that if she was really heavily influenced by Keisha, she would be agreeing with her on the God will provide a way. She said just enough things that it seems she trusts Keisha, but doesn't believe what Keisha believes.
Okay. When can I expect a response? You said a few days?
A few days. And Keisha looks over. It'll take me a week tops. I've got friends out that way. Some that Decker doesn't like.
Not like that's hard to find.
No, it's not. But in this case, he seems to have a contingent of anarchs in his city that he's not aware of. But I know them. They owe me.
Well, I look forward to hearing what you come up with then.
And Honor looks over. See, Keisha's always helpful. That's why.
She certainly knows a lot.
I met her at the club where, where I've been hiding out. She goes there quite a bit. She's kind of a local celebrity in some ways. I can't even explain. It's almost like, she's a diplomat. And Keisha just smiles. I wouldn't call me a diplomat. I am a mediator between many of the Anarch clans here.
Sounds like quite the difficult job.
It can be, but it's rewarding, and it allows me a bit of travel that most of our kind don't get. It allows me to avoid individuals I don't wish to see.
Sounds like quite the luxury.
It is. And she stands up, and when she stands up, you notice she's wearing actually a skirt that's kind of loose and flowing. But as soon as she stands up, there's a grace to her movement that you just can't help but stare at. I mean, her very presence in the area seems to draw eyes to her. She goes, well, we're going to set out then to find it. Plus, I want to get out of here before my sire knows I've popped into town. I would rather not speak with him again.
Are you not all on good terms?
You could say that. He handed me off to another.
It's funny how men seem to think that they can just hand women off like we belong to them.
Well, it worked out for me in some ways. I'm not tied to the city anymore. I have free reign that I wouldn't have otherwise. And Honor just looks at her. I kind of wish Decker would have handed me off to somebody.
If only.
Yeah, if only. And Honor comes over and gives you a big hug. Thank you for letting me know, Isabella. And we will, one way or another, we'll get Tessa free. We'll figure a way to do it.
Oh, I have no doubt about it.
But I'll get what info I can. And if nothing else, and she looks over at Keisha. You said a week, and Keisha goes, at the latest. Have faith. We'll find it. And Honor just looks at you and just kind of grins. Faith. That's a new one.
It is new. We'll see how it turns out.
And you see the two of them start to leave. And it's funny, as Keisha leaves, almost every eye in the place is on her. Everyone that's not the priest, not that many people there, but there is a presence to her again that is, you can't explain. Now, you didn't feel like she was using any of her supernatural abilities, but she is definitely one that draws eyes to her. And they leave the church. And you set out to the night. Now, we actually have to flash over as you deal with the end result of this one. We've got to flash over to Jackie. Where is Jackie this night?
She's actually just left a dinner that she had hosted at a nice restaurant, meeting with various owners of similar entertainment establishments in the city.
Okay.
She's beginning to network a bit for her event that she's wanting to do.
Okay.
And so she's just leaving that.
And where are you
And
heading?
probably heading home for the
Heading home?
Mhm.
As you leave the place. When you pull up to your haven, there's somebody actually, as your vehicle pulls up, you see somebody standing, not in front of the building, but he's kind of at the corner, in plain view of the garage, leaned against a light pole. The sheriff is standing there, Damien. Looks a little out of place in the neighborhood, of course, because, well, it's late. He looks definitely underage, wearing a t-shirt. It's not baby course tonight, just a black t-shirt, but he's just leaning against the light pole. And Etienne, ma'am,
Jackie rolls down the window. Obviously here to see me?
well, obviously if I'm standing outside this place.
Well, get in the car. We're going to park near the back, and I'll take you up my elevator. We can go up and speak privately.
We can speak in the car. Or, I mean, you want to invite me in? Go ahead.
I'm inviting you in. I
And he
will
comes
share my
around and-
hospitality.
And he comes around and opens the door. He don't even wait for Etienne to,
Mm-hmm.
to hop out and hops in the back, slides across from you.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, Jackie?
Always working. How are you, Sheriff?
Always working.
Such
And-
is how it is. And we park, and I say the elevator's this way.
And you take him up into your haven. And when he gets in there, he looks around. Nice place. Nice place.
Thank you.
A little too fancy for my taste, but
You've been around long enough. You collect lots of valuable things.
I know. I've been in Jackson's. I was in Loden's. I've been in all the places like this. But I'm not here for a social visit.
Of course not.
I met recently with Mr. Kate.
All right.
He told me you might know something about Nero. About why he's untouchable.
Did he now?
Because I sure as hell want to know. We've been trying to figure that out. All I know is that I've been told by Jackson not to touch him.
So Jackson knows why he's untouchable. That's good to know. Thank you for that.
Well, it'd have to be him. Not many people can tell me not to touch somebody.
Yes. Yes. Interesting. I wonder, that's interesting. Well, he is protected by powerful individuals.
Now, I know this. What are the powerful individuals? Your boy Lamar hinted that you may know this answer. That's why I'm asking.
I have a lot of connections, and I'm able to get information that many cannot.
So why don't you share it?
Mm.
I'll look kindly upon it.
You'll look kindly. You already owe me 2 favors. You'll owe me another.
Depends on what you tell me, but of course.
Trust me, this one's worth it.
I've dealt with your clan long enough. I know the deal. I know how this works.
He is protected by Justicar Carfax.
Now, why the fuck would a Tremere give a shit about a Toreador?
I do not have an answer for that.
Why the fuck? I mean, he just woke up 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Slept before that.
Why did he sleep?
Don't know.
That may be your answer.
Kathy don't know.
That may be your answer.
He was awake. Right before the Lupine War started, he went to sleep.
Right before.
Right before, yep.
Hmm.
Then he woke up.
Storyteller, how long has Carfax been Justicar?
Since the previous conclave, which would put it, I believe, 2011.
Was he? Because he was not before then. He was an Archon
He
before
was
then.
an Archon before then, correct.
Interesting. And this Lupine War was about 20 years ago. At that time, Carfax would have been an Archon.
Yeah,
Still
the Lupine War
powerful.
was 99.
Yes. Okay, so we're looking at just over 20 years ago now.
But see, here's the thing. I don't know if he was protected then. I only know when he woke up.
Do you know of any of Carfax being in this city around that time?
Haven't seen Carfax in this city ever.
Really?
Not officially.
Well, that is who is protecting him. And of course, Carfax has ties to Lucinda.
Oh, I know about that one.
So, that's why he is hands off. And Lucinda's probably why Jackson knows.
No, I could put money on that one.
Mm-hmm.
She would tell him. Or whoever. He's got friends.
I was in Europe a long time ago for a number of decades. I've met many of these people that are now in prestigious positions before they ever rose. Carfax is Soft-spoken, generally. A man of few words. But that is always suspicious. Highly intelligent. But intelligence doesn't mean morals.
You know, if you want morals, I think you're barking up the wrong damn tree.
So it is possible that even Nero doesn't know. What
That
if
would
he
make
is some
sense.
Tremier's test subject?
It would make sense. I mean, you know, talking unofficially, it makes sense of why Kathy hasn't been able to get it to figure it out. If he doesn't know,
He can't share it with her.
yep. But that don't help me. That makes it worse. That makes it a bigger problem.
I know. Because trust me, I'm a bit pissed off at Nero, too.
Do I have to worry about we've got a fly in the ointment here? Or, you know, is he a Manchurian candidate?
Who the hell knows? I mean, he was functionally useless for a while there.
Yeah. What? Why protect somebody who's was like he was?
I don't know. I wish I had those answers,
Hey,
Damien.
you're not helping me. You really haven't. I mean, I get it. It's useful to know who.
Sorry, I'm not all-powerful and all-seeing. I
Well-
wish I were sometimes, but then again, I figure the cost of that is more than I'm willing to pay.
Well, it's useful enough what you've given me. Just knowing it's Carfax gives me an angle. I've got some friends too.
Good.
Some that might know something.
If you find out, let me know. Then we'll be even on that.
Okay. That sounds like a good trade.
She sticks out her hand.
And he actually sticks out his hand and shakes it. Your hand's actually, I mean, he's smaller than your hand.
And hers is still warm from where she roused Blush of Life to have dinner
Yeah.
with her associates.
He But you've given me some stuff to think about for sure.
Good. Be careful.
Oh, I have to. I don't know what that fucking Tremere's planning. I don't trust any of them. It is what it is, right? Makes me wonder if it has something to do with Abraham.
I have no idea. I don't involve myself in Tribune business.
Now, you see, about the time Nero woke up, Abraham came back.
Really? Now that is an interesting factoid.
Now you see why I say that.
See, you did not tell me this.
I hadn't decided if I was going to or not.
Damien, of all things, I am loyal to the Tower. And I am a loyal citizen in this city.
Yeah. That also means you're loyal to Lucinda. And if he's protected by Carfax, let's be fair here. You telling me could be part of whatever they're planning. I'm not saying that's what you're doing,
It's not.
but you understand from my point of view.
I understand from your point of view. It is a wise point of view to have.
I've survived this long for a reason.
I know.
Everyone sees this kid here and they think,
Oh no, there's a cunning mind inside that head.
you're right. Survived on the streets before. I became this. I've survived since then.
Trust me, the one who told me did not wish to tell me.
No. If I find something out, I'll let you know.
I appreciate it.
You have a good evening, Jackie.
You do the same, Damien. Etienne will see you out.
Etienne takes him out and he rides down the elevator. Now, it's a busy half, isn't it? Once again, it's a bunch of scenes of the things that the players had to take care of because there's somebody who has not gone out to meet. Roscoe, you were told to go to the Holy Family Church Rectory outside the city, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Because you've been told to meet with a man who's actually named Arden. Well, his last name is Canty. And you're told he hangs out that way. So it's actually located in Juliet, outside Chicago. And when you come to this church, it's actually not a very big church. It's actually rather tiny, but it is very old. You can tell by the stonework of it. It's an old Jesuit-style church. Heavy stone, well defended or defendable. But when you go inside of it, all you see is a Hispanic man who is sweeping up dust from the floor. He sees you and actually walks over to you. Can I help you, my son?
Good evening. I'm looking for someone named Arden.
Ah, Brother Arden. I can get him. My name's Father Raoul. I will go get him. Please just wait here and I will go see if he's available to talk. I know he's here.
Thank you, Father.
And he turns and walks to the back of the church and goes down an area you can't see. It looks like a hallway. And it doesn't take long before a man comes out, looks to be actually maybe 50s, balded at this point. I'll share this image so you can see him. He's actually wearing, though, let me find his picture. He's actually wearing priest collar and everything. Come here, picture. There we go. Oddly enough, he has a very open expression on his face. Looks very patient in general. But he comes over to you. You were asking for me, my son?
Yes, I was.
I don't believe we have met.
No. I am Roscoe Akers. I'm one of the group that spends a lot of time in Wicker Park.
Ah, Roscoe Akers, you are a member of Brother Abraham's group.
Yes.
I've had many a talk with him. Please, let's step outside to have our talk. And he looks over at Father Raoul. We will be just walking the grounds a bit. And the father just nods his head. Now, it's funny because, again, this man's wearing his priest collar, but he was called brother.
Right, I noticed
by the
that.
other priest. And steps out. So what can I do for you, my son?
Shall I refer to you as father or brother?
You can call me either one if you wish. It's totally up to you. It's not really, doesn't really matter, you might say. You could also just, you can just call me Arden if you wish.
It works. It works for me.
As the cursed.
Pardon?
Names don't matter. We are the cursed. Our entire line has been cursed. All descendants of Cain are cursed.
Yes.
So what can I do for you?
I was pointed in your direction as someone who might have some knowledge and ability with the production of wards.
Yes, I'm well known for that, actually. I don't know why I'm good at it. I've never actually, oddly enough, I've not received much formal training. It just seems to come naturally to me. One of, I guess, the gifts. One of the few gifts.
I'm not sure if it's your work or not, but the previous church where I stay a lot of now seems to have been covered completely internally with wards of many kinds, which I had never seen before, in all my studies.
Care to describe the wards? We can describe them in function.
They make it very difficult for anyone to see inside or know what's going on inside the structure of the building. And they also seem to keep out all manner of insects, mice, rats, that sort of thing.
I actually have familiarity with this ward. It's not an easy one to do. Very difficult.
I thought I saw that. It's their ward layered upon layer.
It's not one that most do anymore. It is hard on the one who casts it. But it is one I am familiar with.
And there was another place where I'm just guessing that at this point it might have been your handiwork. I don't know. Over by the airport, there's a ward against Kindred on a building, one of the cargo buildings.
That used to be Tyler's place before he disappeared. Now I believe it's run by Honora Grinwell. Yes, it's warded against... Well, it's warded against our kind. Keyed to an object. It's actually keyed towards Tyler and those who bear his mark. That one I did do. It was a favor. Since he's gone, I have no problem sharing that I built that particular ward.
Thank you for letting me know that.
I don't play the same political game that our brethren play in Chicago. Not my way.
Is there any... Do you have any knowledge of possible wards against mages?
Mages. It can be done. The problem is, they generally can tell it's there. And then they just remove it.
Well, they can do that.
Oh, yes. My understanding is they are a lot stronger than we are on that. I would like to have you a surefire way to stop them. The best way, if you were to do something like that, would to make sure it's hidden from view so they can't see it until they cross it. Backside of a door. Backside of a doorway. Never face it out. It won't stop them, but
I'm more interested in just more warning than physically preventing them from crossing, because not much would do that anyway. So they were determined.
Oh, well, as you know, wards never stop anyone if they're determined enough. The idea is a deterrent. It's what makes them so good.
So,
we stopped people, then, well, that would give us away, wouldn't it?
That's true.
It's much better to suggest that's the nature of the ward in your place. That's what makes it work so well. It doesn't prevent things. It just encourages them to look elsewhere.
Is this the sort of thing that I can from you, or would I need to say commission you?
I don't think you could do this.
Okay.
It is not something for the uninitiated. It is not something I am free to share. But
I understand.
I could do something like this. As I said, it's very difficult. And there would be a price. There's always a price.
Oh, of course. What would be the nature of your price?
It depends on what you're planning to have warded. Dimensions, locations, purpose. Even the keys of it change the effort. But I'm sure we could come to an agreement You would have to give me square footage of where you wish it. And then we could negotiate from there.
Okay.
But
And if we wish to replicate the wards that are on our other building, the ones that prevent scrying inside, is that something we could also commission you on?
well, of course. All wards I can be commissioned, at least all of them I know. I don't know a lot of the standard. Mine are all unique. Ones that I can, for some reason, as I've said, I'm naturally gifted. I believe Abraham calls me a savant on that.
You know, my former associate and I spent a long time trying to figure out the wards that were placed on our building, and with only extremely limited success figuring them out.
Well, that's because they were of my design. I came up with them. It's almost like divinity itself had come to me to tell me how to do it. Inspiration. You see, though we are all cursed as descendants, Cain, he himself is a god. Sometimes we get flashes of insight through his divinity.
The key, the wards that are in the old church, would that have possibly been a skeleton? So we saw it just briefly once.
No, I don't use skeletons to create wards. Those are not used for wards. Skeleton, you say?
Yeah.
Anything you remember of it?
It glowed green. And no, do I remember, was there a crown?
There's no crown. It actually didn't have anything, but it was almost pinned together through magic. You remember that was one thing.
Okay. Yeah, it was pinned together by some sort of magical tethers at the joints. They kept it in one piece.
Let me roll something for him real quick, because that's something he may know about. Let me roll and find out. Let's see here. Okay. I have heard something like that. It was somebody honored. A memorial of sorts. A memorial to the dead. Not something. Well, I've never done it, never been part of it, never even seen it. It was in a book around here somewhere I'd found. It's old. Not been done lately. But you say you saw one?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where?
It was in the building that was an old church that we converted into a club.
Wait a minute. Wicker Park.
Yes.
I know that place. What happened to the one who lived there?
It was abandoned.
There was a man that lived there for a while. Well, a group of men, but one in particular. He was a Tremere, but not of the tower. It may have been one ancestor of his he was honoring. Maybe a foe. Quite possible. Did it disappear?
Yes.
The way you speak, it definitely sounded like it's not around anymore. I would love to get hold of it.
Well, certainly keep an eye out for it. But we haven't seen it at all since.
Are you sure none of you moved it? Because it shouldn't walk on its own.
I don't believe we did, but yeah, I'm not. I don't really remember the exact details.
There's a reason I ask, because the particular ward in your place, though it is tied to objects normally, ties itself that way. It's also keyed towards certain individuals. And if the one that was honored shared blood with one of them that the ward was set for, it is possible a piece of that skeleton would allow them to bypass the wards in question.
You know, now that you talk about it, I do remember that the it seems like the guy who was there. We set off the ward when we first went into the building. It's been a while. It really had slipped my mind. But it was the Sabat guy that we were after, and
Misguided children.
Yeah.
But if the skeleton was moved, it's possible it could be used to bypass your ward. Be aware of that.
That's thank you. That's really good information for us to know.
Well, the fun part is you'd never know who has it.
True.
Till they didn't set things off. It's not a perfect ward, obviously. There's no perfect ward. It's always been what I've been trying to figure out is how do you key it to something or someone without causing other things to pass through. The only way to have a perfect ward would be to keep everything out, which would defeat the purpose of the ward in the first place.
True.
Well, this has been a very interesting conversation.
Yes, it has.
I would like to speak with you again at some point. I would love to have a chance to talk with you about the Dark Father. If you're willing to listen.
I very much would.
Good.
This has been a very good evening and a conversation, Father.
It has. Walk with purpose. Brother Roscoe.
Thank you.
And he actually turns and you see him heading back into the church, leaving you out front, wondering exactly what he means by Dark Father and everything else. But we have, looking at the time, well, we still got time. We've got another scene to do, definitely before break. This has been a busy night for the coterie. They're all going about handling all over the city because Jenny actually happens to be in the Four Seasons Hotel tonight because she has to meet with Khadijah. She has requested a meeting with the one who is her primogen, which is, of course, her right as a member of Clan Gangrel. And as you ride the elevator up, there's nobody in it with you this time. No Aisha, no Thomas, none of her people. You're just stuck in an elevator by yourself. But when you get to the top and the door opens, Khadijah is there again. She wears very simple clothes, but it's simple clothes that you could just feel are worth more than most people's entire wardrobe. And when you come in the room, she stands up from the couch she was sitting on.
Jenny. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What, Jenny, nice to see you.
Good evening, Primogen. Congratulations on your title.
Thank you. Clan Banu Akeem appreciates the confidence shown by Prince Jackson.
Well, I'm sure as an accomplished woman as yourself, I'm sure you'll have an easy go of it. Rosa left much to be desired. Sorry, former Primogen Rosa.
Oh, you can just call her Rosa. That is fine. She no longer holds the title. If she no longer holds the title, she does not get the honorific.
True. No, she left a lot to be desired. In the few interactions I had with her, I walked away feeling like I had wasted my time. So
I have a feeling from speaking with the rest of the Primogen Council that they all felt that. So,
she's
please have a seat.
Yeah. Oh, Genevieve will take the offered seat.
And she actually sits down and kind of lounges a bit on a chase that's sitting. So, you wish to speak with your Primogen, so I assume you have business.
Well, yes. So I've been doing a few little projects here and there, but if I'm going to be real with you, Primogen, my needs in Chicago are not really being met. I need something a little bit bigger than I currently have access to help kind of facilitate more of the lifestyle I'm used to living where I was previously residing in Vegas.
As I recall, you have set up a restaurant in the south side in the relative no man's land of the city.
Yes.
Not the best place to make a large amount of money, unless, of course, you're into the drug trade or smuggling and that like.
Oh, well, I'm not into any of those things. It just seemed I was trying something. There's certain business opportunities that you can't really try in Vegas, if that makes sense, because of the landscape of people.
I've never been there, but I'm sure it sounds right. Every city is unique. Every city has its own style and its own way of doing things.
Indeed. The south side of Chicago offered a chance to try something differently that I'd heard from other business owner colleagues in the hotel and casino industry. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this since I'm in Chicago. But that little project isn't enough to net me what I need in the long run here. So cutting to the chase, because I know you are a very straightforward businesswoman, which I appreciate. I'm looking to build a hotel within Chicago. I want to build a luxury hotel that caters to, how do I put this? Clientele with money that are probably traveling in and out of the city, not necessarily people who stay here all the time.
So you're wanting a competitor, but more transient than, say, like the Four Seasons, which is mostly devoted to longer stays for most of us.
Exactly.
That would suggest you would want it either near the airport, not the best location for it, or anyone staying temporarily would be transient, so you would probably want it inside the loop.
Bingo. I've been looking at the city. I've been traveling around. I've been looking at different scenes and hotspots and things like that. And unfortunate for me, the best place seemed to be the Ventru domain,
of course,
it were, or as I've been told, the loose boundaries of it based on talking to others.
You know, they would keep the most financially viable section to themselves. It is a pattern they repeat in most cities. Thankfully, as I've already noticed myself, they don't seem to hold a monopoly on the businesses and the interests that operate outside of their domain. So you should not have a problem doing that. I would have to approach Primogen Stewart. As long as I can get her to agree to it, I don't think there'd be a problem.
Well, any assistance is greatly appreciated. And I guess what would you want from me in return
Well,
for
nothing.
the assistance?
As this is anything that increases the standing of the clans under my responsibility also increases my standing. For every clan member that gets ahead, my power also grows. Because of what I've seen, a large part of this Primogen Council, it's based on not necessarily your own holdings, but it's your holdings and those of your clan in the city as well. So by helping you, I'm helping myself, you might say. Increase my own status. I'm working a deal with Primogen Stewart would go a bit towards showing other, rather stubborn members of the Primogen Council that I am a Primogen. There seem to be some holdouts that don't quite seem to understand that the position is real and it will be used to benefit those under me.
Well, I mean, their doubts are their own problems. Like I said, you see, from what I have seen in my interactions with you previously, you are a very capable woman. So I don't know why if I'm being frank for a minute, or for a second, I would say this city is full of men who can't handle that other people could have power other than them. And the Primogen Council kind of feels like that to me. I'm not saying that's you, and and I know I'm talking out of line in this regard, but the city as a whole has kind of felt like that. And some of the Primogen's directions previously, before this new council was formed, were probably helping keep the city in that kind of feeling, if you will.
Well, you have a right to your opinion, of course, and as always, you can feel free to share with me any comments you have, of course. I will say that I've gotten the most pushback, not from the men on the council, but the one who sees me as a direct threat to her position.
I bet I know who it is, just because of different little chittering and chattering I've heard in my time here. So,
yes, I'm sure you do know. Let's just say I've had to school her a bit. Prince Jackson and I had a discussion about propriety, and the propriety of Primogen should not be keepers of Elysia. That is a conflict of duties. That is a conflict of justice.
You know, when I came to Chicago, that did seem really weird. I mean, especially since I was told Chicago is the jewel of the Camarilla. It's very important. We are the pillar of what, the exemplary status of what a Camarilla domain should look like. And yet all the rules just seem to kind of be, like Jello towers that were kind of wobbly, except for the people who they could smash, as it were.
That is what Jackson and I have been discussing. I'm trying to help him shore up some things.
Well,
in ways that, well, frankly, Clan Banu Hakim is known for our impartiality at times. And he can understand that sometimes I can speak to him, and not as the Primogen, but as a mediator and a judge, to help him balance things out a bit. I will speak with Miss Primogen Stewart, find out what she wishes, and then I will arrange a meeting between you and her to go over the details. I will, of course, hash out the broad outline of the details to make sure it is fair to one of the clans who report to me. I wouldn't want you taken advantage of by Clan Ventru. But once we get a general framework, I will reach out to you and arrange a meeting so you two can finalize everything.
Well, thank you again, Primogen. I do greatly appreciate this opportunity and the help. It's, I think it'll be really great all around. So, though, not to be too weird for a second. I have another question, if I may.
Well, ask.
What is, okay, I know you cover for your own clan and you cover for my clan. What is the gangrel situation in the city? Because I've tried to find out, and it seems like there's a group of archons and a couple people. I'm trying to figure out if there's, I don't know. I haven't run into really any other gangrel.
You are curious about whether you have what will happen with the gangrel holdings now that the shifts and some of the other gangrel. I will say, aside from the archons, there are not that many of your clan in the city. And with Rosa gone, that was one less. There still are a few. There is enough that we are currently negotiating with the rest of the Primogen Council, the Prince, and the archons you speak of to redistribute the domains around a bit. Clan Banu, it does need somewhere we can call our own.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it comes from the old gangrel holdings, I get the impression that wolf pack doesn't exactly want to give up large chunks of what they claim their clan owns. So something must be done in proper place. They are archons, they are due deference. That is the way the system works. But if that's the case, we have to find other ways to come to agreements.
True.
It's improper that a primogen of a clan not have a domain for that clan.
Oh no. Oh, I wholly agree. I was just curious because not even necessarily for the domain itself. I was just I'm used to being kind of the odd duck, as it were, in a domain. It's not like Vegas has crawling with gangrel either, but it just seemed kind of, and I know we've fallen out of favor with the tower, and it is most unfortunate. But I hadn't really run into any gangrel of note in the city, I guess, if that makes sense. And so I was making sure I wasn't missing somebody that I needed to
including
become
yourself,
acquainted with.
Not counting the archons, who technically aren't part of the city. They're not one of my subjects. There are 6 others in the city. Most of them don't seem to play in the politics. They seem to want to, as your clan is fond of doing, to live their own lives and do their own thing. You are the unique one in the city, whereas you are trying to be part of the city and not just exist there.
Hey, look, there's a reason my unlife has gone the way it has gone, and if I wanted to just live here and not actually do anything, I would have just stayed in Vegas. I've got to do my thing here too, since I'm here. So,
well, I will help you try to achieve what you need to achieve, because as I've said, as you gain in status, makes my seat better, makes it easier to do my job. You have a good evening, Miss Schutz.
You as well.
I will reach out to Primogen Stewart.
Thank you. And Genevieve will kind of give a slight bow as she gets up and departs.
And this time, Khadijah doesn't get up from her chase. She just seems to lounge back, and you can see she's got a look of, I'm not going to say concentration, but contemplation as you leave, as if she's working through the meeting you just had with her as you step out. And before we go to break, we have a very brief scene. It's just something I want to touch on with Nicholas. Nicholas, so you are aware, as you've been going about your business through the city, you are seeing more and more spirit activity. They seem to be in the streets more often, whereas you're used to seeing 1 or 2, but not major gatherings. They are clustered always in groups of 4 and 5 and 6 together. You catch them speaking to each other. Hardly any spirits by themselves. You're not quite sure what it means because none of them seem to want to speak to you. But they are obviously there's a problem of some kind, or the way they're gathering, it's like they're planning for something, or they're worried about something.
Nicholas would just, like, when he starts kind of putting together the patterns, he just kind of, it's like half saying it to himself, half saying it to Izzy. It was like, is this part of what you were speaking of, Izzy?
And the only thing you feel from Izzy is when you ask that, the necklace just gets cold.
Interesting.
And with that knowledge, it's something important for Nicholas to know with what's been going on in his city. This is where we're going to go to break, everybody. And it's been an interesting first half, and we will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break while we find out what comes next, because this coterie have all gotten some interesting information. Some of them got more than I think they realized at first. We will see you in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. The blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Is your blood Bathory? I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals, keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered, all my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you? Or is it me? Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in the world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, well, there was a lot of fucking info gathered up about the current plots that each of these characters have been involved in. And even Jackie got some stuff after Lamar had dropped a dime on her to Damien about the whole Nero thing. So where we're opening up now is apparently both Jackie and Lamar sent out texts immediately following their events about we need to meet.
It was
As a group.
synchronized and everything.
Yeah. And as the coteries gathered, the coterie is all there except for Jenny, because actually we're going to flash to Jenny in the car, because Jenny was arriving a bit later from meeting with Khadijah, and her and Evan are riding in the car. So we're going to the club.
Yeah, since the text came in at the same time, I'm assuming these two are banging, so it's probably the news they're going to drop on us.
God, could you imagine those two banging?
Oh, it'd be glorious. but
Someone's
also
getting
very
some at least.
stiff. No, I don't know. They're both very nice. I'm just giving you.
Look, I'm just glad
don't
somebody
repeat that,
gets some,
Evan.
because, you know, you can't cock block us all, right?
I can try.
Okay, granted, I give you that one. I'll hang
no.
around the club while you're upstairs, though, just, you know.
Oh, enjoy yourself, Evan. Look, have fun, enjoy yourself, live your best simi life.
Works for me.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm off my game tonight, Evan. I apologize. I feel so bad about that. I did want to task you with something, if that's okay.
No, that's fine.
You know,
That's what I do. What you got for me?
so I talked to the alderwoman, and next year I'm going to run a coat drive and like blanket drive, things to keep the community warm kind of deal. But based on, I don't take the words of a zealot as something to live by, but I'm being safe. So I want you and Frank, or mostly you, to spend the next couple of days gathering up as many coats, blankets, whatever else you think you need to kind of stay warm, big socks, things like that. Get some box trucks, rent them, don't buy them, please. And keep all that stuff kind of centrally located around Phoenix, because there is a quote unquote storm coming. And if nothing happens, then I'll just hold on to the stuff till next winter. If something happens, I want to be prepared.
Okay. Yeah, I can go around and hit some of the local places and try to get some donations, talk to the Salvation Army in the area, and we can start gathering up. And
No, donations are great and everything, but I'm not going to worry about the actual drive until next year. I'm just doing this to prepare ahead of time.
right. Well, we'll do the standard we've done before, where, you know, we're going to do the donations, but we'll actually supplement a lot of it.
Oh,
Private donations from our own funding.
yeah. I was going to say, if you need to ask Frank for a credit card or two, I don't care. I want this done because I think if the worst case scenario happens, which I don't think it will, but again, preparing, this is a good way to earn some social credit with the community there. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But like I said, we can, we'll make sure that it all looks above ground. I mean, hell, we'll be able to write off some of it and everything else. So it's fundraising and it's a donation drive, but we'll make sure we got a lot on hand so that we're not relying on the generosity of a city that's not known for being that generous.
Well, we're going to show them our generosity instead, and maybe we'll change some hearts and minds, or they'll still suck. But you know what? In the end, we're going to get paid one way or another. So,
But yeah, I'll work on that. I'll start in on that tomorrow morning while you're doing your sleep.
Thank you, Evan. Appreciate you.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what I'm here for. Can't
You're
always
here for
just be
other
my good
things.
looks and my sparkling conversation.
That's mainly what you're here for, Evan. Didn't you?
Why do
God
you
damn it.
laugh
I just
when
call
I say
Fiorenza
that?
and let her know that you are slacking on the job, Evan. That you are not giving me the sparkling conversation and good looks that I'm used to.
How come you laugh every time I bring up sparkling conversation?
Because you're a fucking riot, Evan. I mean, come on.
You know, if I had feelings, it might hurt them.
See, conversation isn't your strong point, Evan. It's the jokes and the way we laugh at how much you self-deprecate. I believe that's the word.
Well, look, I'm just doing it until we can leave this fucking city. I am starting to believe what you've said. This place is a hellhole.
Another convert to the Church of Chicago sucks ass.
Like, there's a reason why Fiorenza apparently left. She didn't tell me, but I can already figure out why. She didn't want to be part of this shit either.
Yeah. Well, she kind of pulled that one over on both of us in a sense. So
story of my life.
You know what? No, don't worry, Evan. We're going to make a ton of money. And when this is all over, you're going to laugh about it and you'll be on a beach somewhere getting a hand job from a dude, or I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do on your time off, Evan.
Somewhere warm.
Okay, we can do that, or you can do that. Yeah.
Vegas was fine. It didn't really get cold. It was nice. Somewhere warm, because dear God, this place is cold.
Fiorenza will call you, probably have you come down to Mexico one of those times. You can go visit like Cancun.
No, she won't. She'll have me back in Vegas working other things for her. That's a woman who doesn't believe in vacation.
Think positive thoughts, Evan. Manifest the vacation that you want. Just manifest it. Do it.
You can have all the positive thoughts you want. You think you can convince Fiorenza to do something that is against her nature. It's just not going to work. No, we're here.
I'll put in a good word for you.
We're here, so I'll be in the club if you need me.
All right, have fun, Evan.
And Jenny comes into the club and joins the rest of the coterie up in the conference room as everyone's sitting around waiting for Jenny.
Good evening, all. Apologies for the late arrival. I was in a meeting, so. Why the long faces?
Good evening, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Okay, so icebreaker, since you all look like you need to pick me up, turns out that Annabelle lost her position as Keeper of Elysia due to the advice of Primogen Alkendi.
So Alkendi has the prince's ear.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yes.
That is fast. She is good. God damn.
Oh yeah, no. She is shining a light on the problems of this city and how the rules kind of seem to be as I described it, a jello tower. It's jiggly.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of matter only if you're small enough to smush with their thumb. So yeah. But that's why Annabelle lost that position, which is cool. I mean, I thought it was funny. So all right.
It's
sorry.
great. It's great. Thank you for sharing. That is
Genevieve's
amusing insight. Lamar, the next time you're going to drop my name or number to the sheriff, just let me know.
Apologies.
I came home after a meeting with some people to find him standing outside my building.
He's creepy like that. Yeah. My bad. I thought it would sound better coming from you than from me.
I don't mind, but just let me know so I can be prepared for potential surprise visits.
All right. Well, I didn't drop your name to the other person I met this evening.
Oh, do tell.
He pulls out the back, a parting gift from Al fucking Capone.
Really? The man himself.
Yeah. The man himself, straight out of the penitentiary. But no, he had me come in and see him because my calling card was a little bit I don't know, it was a little disruptive for some of his friends. So he wanted to talk. And he swears up and down that he's not the one, that his people aren't the ones dropping cop bodies all over South Side. And he even wanted to make me a deal. Help him get rid of One IK, and they'll back right on off all of our interest in the South Side. Jenny.
Yes. Question. Did he specifically say they're not his people killing cops?
He did.
But the anarchs that we suspect are helping him are technically not his people. So.
Right. And he was very closed-mouthed about them.
Okay.
I very much tried to get him to give me a little something there, and he was very hesitant to speak about them.
You said he kept referencing him as One-Eyed King. He never let on that he knew who it really is, did he?
No.
Most in this city do not.
Yeah. I think if he knew who it was, he'd be looking to stamp him out a lot faster. But since he doesn't, that's something that that's something we might be able to play with later. What I'd really like to do is just, off both of them. But especially Capone, because fuck that guy.
Oh my goodness.
Jackie?
Baron Evelyn and Gary completely fucked both of them. And whoever was pulling her strings.
How so?
I thought she was sending subpar anarchs to fight for Capone, ones who were fucking up. No. She sent him reinforcements, capable fighters. And then she sent operatives in to fuck the whole field up. God damn, that impresses me. She's good. She's good. Found out some information on her. She's quiet, reserved. Seems strange considering she's a Bruja, but interesting.
I didn't know they came in quiet.
I didn't either. If I ever run across her, she'll be the first one I've ever met.
So you think she set this up to
get eyes on what's going on there? Anita gave me warning, hoping that something would be done before she even had to send people. I could not do anything about Anita's warning without proof. So, Evelyn just handed all the fucking proof I needed to get all eyes on them.
Well, if you're planning to pass that along, I'm going to pull all my boys off the street, so to speak.
Good idea. Because I don't think it will be long before we start seeing Archons and other operatives in the general vicinity.
He's got a Nosferatu working for him by the name of Nick. Well, someone I don't think is... If he's... Somehow, I don't think he's playing with all his cards up where Winneca's concerned. If Nick isn't an anarch himself.
Interesting. Give me a general appearance.
Yeah. Kind of a little bit short of myself. Saying ugly as sin doesn't really...
Doesn't matter, they're not.
Capture him.
Yes.
He's got kind of bat-like ears, though, I think. So,
oh, that's
yeah.
that's remarkable. Not all of them go truly animalistic.
But yeah, he was very. I think he took a shine to me.
Hmm. Hmm. That's good
You
to
know-
know. I will ask my contacts.
You know, since you met Capone and you're still alive, well, in unlife anyway, and you came back to us, did he make you some kind of deal you couldn't refuse?
Yes and no, but I also kind of out. We were kind of at an impasse because I gave him some information that he couldn't exactly verify, but I could tell it bothered him. So yeah, he knew that taking me out would just lead to more problems for him. So that's when he peddled the entire, help me take out one IK and I'll leave the South Side alone thing.
Well, that worked out. That worked out well for all of us then.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the moment, at least.
I will think on some matters regarding that. I will think on that because he doesn't know who the One-Eyed King is. Did he ask you to find out?
Who One-Eyed King is? No,
Okay.
he just wants him gone.
Okay, that tells me a bit about how Capone operates. Okay. Yes.
Of the two, is there one we prefer around? Or are they both problematic?
They are both problematic, but one is why first, Lamar, why did he say he would be willing to give you interest in Southside? Southside is his turf.
Well, he said him and the people that he's working with, he doesn't really have any use for the South Side. He has bigger plans, he says.
Storyteller, can I roll something on that? Like an
Sure.
insight?
No, it wouldn't be an insight. You can roll wits politics.
Okay. I actually have some of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I haven't had to rouse all session. I'm going to surge.
Okay, go ahead. Call upon your undead blood to enhance your knowledge of everything.
And we're going to willpower.
Okay. Right now you have 3.
5.
5. Okay.
And I do a rouse check, which
Okay.
I failed.
5 successes. Not bad. With 5 successes, Jesus. And Jenny comes up with 6 with a crit too.
Mm-hmm.
He's willing to give up a whole side
Mm-hmm.
of the city because he's got bigger plans. He must have something more valuable than the whole South Side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not many things more valuable than that, unless he thinks he can somehow take, at a minimum, primogen status or a large chunk of the actual city itself. And Jenny, you come to about the same conclusion.
He definitely thinks whatever he's working with these associates of his, that he is going to get something big. That he is going to get probably primogen back. He used to be primogen in this city. Maybe even control of larger domain within the city.
If Indiana is sending him reinforcements,
Yes.
is it possible they have interest in the city and he may get Indiana or Gary?
That may be possible too. He may get
'Cause
he may get the princedom of Indiana. Of Gary. But Gary is a fucking mess. I mean,
I feel like if he
but-
can get a stronger hold in Chicago,
I think
than
he's
what
going
he
to be
currently has now.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Everything I've heard about him and now this new information about him, he seems like the type that really tries to consolidate and then expand. So he has been building in Southside, consolidating. We thwarted some of those plans because he was calling in his descendants, one of which happened to be blood hunted, which that fucked two of them because it fucked the one blood hunted and the one who harbored him. And he had to call in reinforcements from whoever his ally is in Gary. Whoever that was somehow leveraged the Anarchs to supply them. Because I guarantee you it is not the Anarchs themselves doing it. If it is, if I am wrong about that, I will never trust my instincts again. Because all my instincts are screaming, it is not the Anarchs doing this. Not when the Baron is creating such a noise in Southside to fuck them all. Her hand was forced, and she's throwing up her middle finger.
Definitely. I mean, whoever's pulling the Anarchs strings is probably telling, because no offense, Nicholas, but I don't see why, knowing what I know about mobsters, they're not going to downgrade to a podunk
A ruin of a city.
town like Gary.
My only point was Prince of Nothing is better, or Prince of Something is better than Prince of Nothing if he feels it could get him.
Not necessarily to a
No.
Ventrue.
The problem is that mobster mindset is that if you take a downgrade, even from a visual standpoint, of going and taking over a place like Gary, that's not a stepping stone. Anybody can be the Prince of Gary or the Baron of Gary. The fucking Anarchs have shown that.
Right.
If he becomes Primogen in Chicago or Seneschal in Chicago somehow, that is a massive upgrade. Plus, he is tied to Chicago. I mean, the whole mythos of Al Capone is Chicago. He takes back his city. He becomes the fucking undead hero of the day in his own.
He becomes the kingpin.
Yeah, he's
But-
not.
Doesn't his existence pose a problem?
Of course it does.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Okay, a little bit of information. I orchestrated the war in Southside for the explicit purpose of ensuring that Alphonse fucking Capone gets ashed or run the fuck out of the city. Because he should not exist.
Well, my point with that is, why would I think if he's aiming for anything, it's the top or nothing.
I don't think he can.
Because him existing, he's a very notable person.
Yes, but he's been able to keep himself underground for decades.
But once he's out in the sunlight, so to speak,
Just because
that's
someone.
a much different problem.
Just because, well, I see what you're saying, I do. But at the same time, if he thinks that his allies are going to ensure he can have that position without his enemies destroying him. So he must think that his allies are going to take care of his enemy problem too.
That's true regardless of what his ultimate end goal is.
It doesn't
Even
matter
with
if he
that-
wants Prince or not. I mean, because even at Prince, if he's got enough enemies that are powerful enough, they'll just off his ass. But because yes, pretty much all of Clan Ventru generally thinks Alphonse Capone cannot fucking exist. That is likely why his destruction was ordered. When it was. And it's for some reason failed. I'm prone to think Alexa Santos got leveraged. That's what I'm prone to think. I don't know it for a fact. Maybe she attempted and failed. Ventru are notoriously hard to kill. But she wouldn't have reported him destroyed without confirmation. I just don't buy that one bit.
And it's going to be really bad news for her if
Mm-hmm.
news of his continued unlife gets out.
Mm-hmm. Which is already getting around.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, speaking of other problems, whatever the storm is that's coming, the ripples have already started on the other side.
okay.
Spirits are more active, grouping up, as it were, perhaps. Safety in numbers, but they're planning for something.
I will ensure that the generators here have enough fuel to sustain the basement suites and the security system of this club. I will be out of country soon. I'm actually awaiting word that that Prince de Camden of Edinburgh will approve my visit to the city. I need to go there for some personal business. It will be a brief trip. I expect no longer than a month.
I would find it as a personal favor if we could have a talk when you return.
Certainly. Certainly. I make myself available to all coterie members when they need me. But I appreciate that warning, Nicholas. You've been seeing strange things, I assume.
And increasing. And I think what Izzy warned me of is getting closer.
You didn't hear a bell like the last time, did you?
No, this
Okay.
is, if I were to guess, it seems that there's an uneasiness that is growing among the departed. But nothing has started, but it is coming.
Any idea of a time frame? We talking weeks, months?
Do I have any kind of sense, storyteller?
Nope.
Considering the, sorry,
But as you talk about it, Roscoe,
Hmm.
power you haven't used yet
Oh,
slams into you. A vision. You see something. Everything is white. Your whole vision goes completely white. And all you can hear is the howl of wind. And then you can see everybody there again. It's the briefest of things. It's the oddest of things because you've not seen that before.
wow. I just had, well, it, I don't know, maybe you look at what's coming or what, but I just had a kind of a vision. where everything went just completely white, like a blizzard with howling wind, and then it faded away. Kind of like what happened with Eleanor once or twice.
Is that, did you touch that statue?
Not again. That when we were at this happened just now. No, I never touched that statue after we were at the shop with Benway. Which reminds me, when we were there looking at things, he offered a statue to me, and after I picked it up, just this whole flood of information about who used to own it and what happened to them, and well, every one of them came to a violent and bad end. It seems to be the sort of thing that comes about when you get artifacts from Benway. They all come from the Middle East somewhere.
Oh,
Yes, I would suggest that if anyone has bought anything from him, that they be evaluated.
well, I will say that the one thing I did purchase from him, I did not put in my residence. It is in a storage facility. But after I return from my trip, I'd like for both of you gentlemen to take a look at it.
Sure, absolutely.
Because if there's something wrong with it, I will take it back to Benway and get my fucking money back.
I'm sure you won't have any trouble with that. He has no end of other people who might be interested
I'm
in buying
sure,
it.
but he needs to disclose that shit.
I don't know that he knows all that. I mean, he didn't really give it away that he knew that was the case, so he might not know. But
Jesus. Fucking grave robbers and shit, I bet.
mm-hmm.
So really what I'm taking from that part of the conversation is that I made the right call when I was like, no, thanks, Mr. Benway. I don't think I want to visit your creepy shop.
We have yet to have a good.
Sorry, go ahead.
We have yet to have a good experience with someone who owns a shop.
Wait a second.
I have a far more reliable antiques dealer that I get my stuff from. If you need antiques, let me know.
I'm not saying the gentleman does not have valuable items. I'm just saying it's probably best to be careful going forward.
Cost isn't always apparent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, and Roscoe did look rather awful after touching it.
Yeah, it was not the most pleasant of all feelings.
We gotta stay out of shops. Just every time we go to one, there's something bad happens.
That's why you go to shops run by the kind, not ones run by Kindred.
So Nicholas at this point is looking over at Roscoe, is just like, should I stop going to his store?
My store is perfectly safe.
Demons,
most
ghosts,
mages,
the tablet of fucking doom.
The former sheriff that's a fucking asshole.
Well, I mean, aside from all that, it's great.
The women who apparently hate you.
Jury's still out on that.
So
Down
what
every
is
6
aside
months.
from all of that?
The acoustics are nice.
Okay.
See, there was something good about it. What was that, Red? What was that, Isabella?
Oh, I was just gonna say, is there anything good about it? But Brad brought it up. I also was gonna say that Lamar, it seems no matter whether you go to a shop or not, something bad happens.
Well, bad things also happen. Go to churches around here too.
Believe me, there are some weird people in the churches around here. I went to the first church I've been to here in a long time. Surprisingly enough, I had a friend whose name is Honor. She mentioned it to me and invited me to go. I've spoken with the girls about this, but Decker's lapdog reached out to me and functionally threatened me that if I didn't return his lovely honor back to him, he would kill a kindred named Tessa from Milwaukee, and then proceed to continue to kill others until honor came back.
It sounds
you said
like he
Tessa-
has no honor
Oh,
to
he
begin
has
with.
none.
No, he does not. Honor is the name of his child.
Tessa is a Tremere, yes?
Yes.
Oh, really?
So
Yes.
she is it's a rumor. Don't know of how
Mhm.
true it is, but that she's the child of Karna herself.
Really? I wasn't aware of anyone.
Like
In
I
the
said, it's a
area.
rumor. They also aren't particularly close, from what I've heard. They had a bit of a falling out and have been on the outs for, gosh, ages.
I'll look into that. That's something of a bit of concern. It's true.
Yes, so Prince Decca of Milwaukee, Gangrel, been prince for a number of years now. He basically took the position because nobody else wanted it. Milwaukee is a clusterfuck and a half. You think Chicago's bad? Visit Milwaukee. But it's at least not the playground of elders, but it is it has problems. And he has basically done almost nothing about them except for start more problems because he has a massive fucking, what is it? What was it that Destiny said? The hate boner? He has a massive fucking hate boner for Lupine. So he's constantly pissing in their fucking parks and you know, starting trouble
What?
with them.
What is it with people who like to fuck with lupines? I just, it's just, I've met exactly 3 of them, and I didn't get this urge to go, you know what? Put them up, let's fucking go.
I'm sure there's a
that
story
was never
there.
on my mind.
I'm sure there's a story there. But truly, he is a dictator. He is a right asshole. He has an army of storyteller. Are they all Gangrel?
No, they're just fanatic anti-lupines.
Okay, so he has a group of kindred. Some are Gangrel, some basically his child. What was her name? The lapdog that came.
Amelia, I believe.
No.
Alicia?
The lapdog was, let me pull it. I'll even pull it up for you because I have to look it up. 'cause I don't
Nobody
remember.
remembers her damn name
Ju-
other than that bitch.
It
Julia?
tells you. Julian, yes.
Julia. Julia
Yeah,
is
Julia.
one of his child. There's other clans represented within this army called the Anubai or the Anubis, that are basically fanatical followers of him and very anti-Lupine. But from what Isabella has told me, he basically embraced Anna, then proceeded to basically abuse the shit out of her. Keep her contained, which anyone who has ever known any Gangrel knows you don't do that. Keep her under thumb constantly. She had to be his little trophy child and to show off and such and be his pet. Isabella here helped her get the fuck out from that bullshit. Does it sound familiar, like something Nero's doing with Kathy?
Who embrace and then think, well, I made you, so you belong to me, and you must now do what I say for eternity. Like,
I mean, I know there are some of my clan that sometimes do that, but really, even that has gone out of favor. So,
With his recent threats and given his behavior, I think that we should probably take some steps to try and shut down what he's doing. At the very least, prevent him from doing what he's doing to Tessa to other Kindred. I have a contact in the area that I'm hoping can give me information so we can take more action on that. That's kind of where things stand now. There is something else I thought you might find interesting, Jackie.
What's that?
When Honor visited me today, she brought a friend with her named Keisha. She is the child of a Luke.
Really?
Apparently, they've also had somewhat of a falling out, or they just don't see eye to eye. She didn't get into much details, but she identifies herself as a diplomat of the Anarchs in the area, trying to keep peace.
Really? Okay. Thank you for that. That is very good information.
Well, if she's trying to keep the peace, she's doing a shit job because she should spend some time in Gary. But that's just my opinion.
Yes, I don't ever take a snake by their word. Never. But yes, so Tessa's supposedly being held somewhere in Milwaukee. Decker sent his attack bitch to be his messenger because, well, honestly, that attack bitch is all bark and very little bite because they can't do shit to you in Jackson's domain. Even Decker isn't that stupid. Snatching one of his people from his domain or harming one of his people in his domain, that will put Jackson's eyes on Milwaukee. And it will fuck Decker, not the fun way. So, but he can do whatever he fucking pleases within his own domain. He can totally capture Tessa, fabricate claims that she has broken traditions this way, that way, and the other, and destroy her. And repeatedly do this over and over, with a penchant for picking ones who are young and vulnerable. Which I
Keisha,
personally find distasteful.
Oh, of course. Why, I've taken it upon myself to make sure that he stops. Keisha did mention that she has a contact in Milwaukee who might know where Tessa is being kept. She also did bring up the possibility of Honor faking her death to prevent Decker from continuing his search for her.
That may be a good idea.
Exactly.
If that is the plan, I can help.
Good to know. Also, I have someone in Milwaukee. I do some business dealings there. So, I have someone looking into that discreetly. So, I should hopefully hear something soon.
Do you expect right-hand attack bitch to show up again?
She gave you a timeline, didn't she?
Yeah, she said for sure by 90 days, but I'm going to guess if they get wind of us or someone else making a move, she'll come back sooner. But she's not really a threat.
Oh, I had a baseball bat all ready to go.
I mean, we can have our fun with her. I never said that. I just said that she wasn't a threat.
I got a Louisville Slugger you can use. I got my sledgehammer. I say we put in some work here, Mr. Caputo. Think about it. Get back to me.
I am.
He is quite adept with the sledgehammer.
I saw.
Yes, he is.
But I think we might be able, if we get the information we need. Jenny has arranged for the casino in Milwaukee to host the giveaway for Felicity.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
We could basically stage an operation. While Jenny and I deal with Felicity, others may be handling rescuing Tessa.
So let's say we do that. We rescue Tessa, and then what do? We bring her here. We take her somewhere else. Put her on a bus.
I don't know. Likely, the first step would be to bring her here. She comes here, presents herself to the prince, seeking asylum.
And she can't be touched.
She can't be touched, and it would make the prince look very bad if he denied her and deferred to Milwaukee because he is the Prince of Chicago.
There's no way Jackson's gonna. There's no way Jackson's gonna bitch himself out for Decker.
Fuck no, he isn't, so he will grant it. Because fuck Decker, because Jackson can't stand Decker.
No one can.
Exactly. So many people want his ass gone. Trust me.
How is he even still Prince over there then?
Because nobody else wants it.
Apparently, it's trash.
Yes, but you know what? I've lived long enough to know that you can always clean up trash. Sometimes it takes itself out.
Well, the Brewers suck. We all know that.
Sometimes you need to give the trash a good hard kick.
You do.
Maybe we'll need to do that to Decker.
You do. Well,
Speaking of the airport and Flyboy, I was had a little trip out to Joliet recently, and I found out some information that might be interesting to you, particularly Jackie. Well, all of us really, but just this is the sort of thing you like to know about. I had a talk with Arden Canty, who's apparently the architect of all the wards that we have here on our club and also on Flyboy's office, cargo building office at the airport. He did them.
interesting.
He's out at, I forget the name of the literal name of the church, but it's kind of the Church of Cain. He kept talking about the Dark Father interspersed with our
Oh,
talks
yes.
about wards.
Wait, what?
The Dark Father, Church of Cain.
Ugh, more zealots.
He wasn't pushy or
Son of-
zealoty about it.
But he actually said Dark Father.
Yeah, he did.
And he actually said he was with the church.
In as many words, yeah.
Next time you see that guy, let me know. I'd like to visit. I'd like to, just go and watch your back.
All right, I appreciate that. That'd be a good trip. Now he can do more words like that, even something about mages. He'll do it on commission. He won't teach me how to do it. Oh, and one other thing that came up in the conversation. You remember that skeleton that we saw here when we first?
Yes.
Really, that was like some kind of a tribute that the Sabat guy who was here had either like an enemy or a friend or something. It was a tribute. And it has special powers.
Is the skeleton still here?
No, when we first found this building, it was apparently abandoned. We entered it, and because of the wards that are here, as you know, when Kindred crossed the threshold, it warms up the coins that we keep. It obviously alerted him that Kindred had crossed the threshold.
And
So the skeleton we found went missing by the next time we returned.
And if we have the opportunity, we need to find that skeleton because it's part of the key to the wards on it. And a bearer holding one of the bones of the skeleton can slip in without triggering the wards.
See, that is good to know.
So whoever has that thing can just walk in here anytime they
Mhm.
feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to find that skeleton, and we need to put a couple of rounds in the skull of whoever took it.
Okay. My idea is to scour the domain because this is where he was hiding.
Right.
Also, check our undercity access for any nooks
Right,
and crannies. Granted,
Right.
it was full of water, but there's not saying he couldn't have hidden it down there, thinking
Right.
that it wouldn't be disturbed. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's right. Marcus got in too, right? Remember?
Marco?
Marco. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Yes, he was here, but I don't remember if my coin went off that night or not.
No, as it was pointed out when the players asked, did the coin go off? I said no. It did not go off when he came in. Killian did set it off.
This is Jackie's unimpressed face with the storyteller fiat bullshit. Yes.
Yeah.
So if Marco was able to get in,
he
without
found
triggering-
the skeleton.
or whoever he works for has
Right.
it, which means it could be in the hands of those very same anarchs that are back in Capone.
That could be a problem. I think.
Well, there's a
we need-
solution. I can torch this whole fucking place and collect the insurance.
Damn, but that's so extreme, Jack. And I know, coming from me, that's strange to hear.
I would do it at least empty so nobody got hurt. But
well, thank you for that.
But I'm
Um,
kind of attached to this place, especially after we lost the steakhouse.
it's whatever.
Well, I do know who did the wards. He can recreate them for us. And it'll cost.
Of
It
course
will
it
not
will.
be cheap.
Of
It'll not
course
be
it
cheap.
will.
But I mean,
When
All
you say
right.
not cheap, what does he want?
the cost will depend on how large the area is.
Considering the size of this place, Jesus.
Hmm.
I mean, but there's a difference between I want 2 million up front and I want
Your
boons from all of you
firstborn.
because at that point, I have a problem with that second one.
he's I don't think he's really concerned with money or material things, being a father or brother in the church.
The motherfucker shady too. They won't. No, have you ever seen what's that guy? Something dollar, but that guy,
Oh, Creflo. Yeah.
right? That guy, he has a lot of money, and he's supposed to be a priest
Mm-hmm.
or a pastor or whatever. But yeah, don't let the holy men fool you. They take from the collection plate more than anyone else.
It was just my impression he wasn't, but I've been wrong. So I think he was much more interested in the boon kind of payment and major favors.
I got a major favor for him. I don't put my fucking fist through his face, and he does the workhorse. Sorry.
Jimmy, so much. You.
I'm just saying. The man who says he needs no money is the man who's lying to your face.
Yes.
But no. Sorry, I just had to say that. That just weirds me out when you're just like, oh, the father brother guy, he doesn't want anything. Maybe. No.
No, he wants something.
He definitely wants something. Yeah.
Yeah. But, okay. So we have a lot still. Every time I think I solve a problem, more fucking come.
Welcome to Chicago.
Can't wait to get the fuck out of it.
Yas, queen. Heard that one in Boys Town, but Yas, queen.
Yes, Boys Town is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Fuck. Just okay. All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let it go. Don't take insurance advice from Roscoe. Just because he burned his bookstores down for insurance money doesn't mean we should burn the club down for insurance money.
No, I usually
So-
let, like, true acts of nature handle that for me. I made a fucking killing off of Katrina hitting New Orleans.
Well, hey.
Roscoe's vision's right.
To be
Yeah.
fair, he's managed to burn the bookstore down twice.
There is nothing in what you just said that makes me feel any better about all this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that just sounds like he had to change his insurance companies twice because they probably didn't cover him after that first one. So
No, they covered the first one.
no, I know they covered the first one. You had to get another insurance company to cover the second one because the first one would have been like, this seems a little odd.
This seems a
Yeah.
little suspicious.
Books catch fire all the time.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
My books have never caught fire before.
Neither have
Roscoe.
mine.
I'm
yet.
with Genevieve on this. I've never had a book burst into flames.
Roscoe.
There was that one time where my books did.
Does it count if you
Look.
lit someone on fire while they were holding the book, asking for a friend?
Yeah.
That's still a book burning.
And I was gonna say, I'm gonna give you this warning once, Roscoe. Don't put this, well, they haven't turned on fire yet, bullshit on me, because if my books catch on fire, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna wring your fucking neck. So,
All
because
right.
I will blame you.
Well, was
My-
good
my-
information shared. We have some ideas on things that we need to address. We need to think about these matters for a time. Are you going to work with Arden, Roscoe, on your shop?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And I will keep an eye and ear out for spirit activity. And if I get a sense that something is coming with enough warning, I will let you all know.
I'll have my assistants get the fuel for the generators to make sure that it is stocked. For I can probably get enough for maybe for the basement and the security system, probably a week. Hopefully that'll be enough. But and I'll make sure that there's some food here for any ghouls that stay here.
If worse comes to worse, and any of you are stranded or caught out near my restaurant Phoenix, you are more than welcome to stay there. I don't want to necessarily have a generator or anything, but it's at least there's a safe place there if you need it. So
Anything. Yeah, I think I'll bring Michael back here. It seems to be getting bad.
Okay. Okay.
Because the bookshop's really not set up for any kind of extended.
Stay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I may take you up on that offer for Matthew. Our
Of course.
haven is still in process.
Of course. All of you, I mean, there are suites here for everyone, so please. This is not just my place, it is our place. I actually ensure that the profits are shared equally amongst all our resources.
I might do some looking. I might do a little bit more looking around for those anarch symbols because now I'm very committed to finding out where these sons of bitches are.
Yes, because the symbols may not be necessarily leading to just accesses. It may be leading to where he's hidden pieces of it.
Yeah, I think I'll go. I think I want to do some bone collecting. So
All right. Well, I need to go so I can get my gentleman to handle what needs to be handled here tomorrow. You all have a pleasant night, yes?
Oh, no. As everyone's leaving, Isabella, can I borrow you for a second?
Of course, Nicholas.
and in fluent, but like heavy American accent Italian. I've asked family to look for your mother.
In Italian, Isabella responds,
Yeah.
"Thank you, Nicholas. You are a good friend. I appreciate it."
As soon as I hear anything, I will let you know.
Thank you.
So the coterie goes their separate ways. But this night, well, they've had a good strategizing session here. I think each of them came out of it with a little more than they came into it, for sure. I know Roscoe now has to go and speak with Tracy Graves because he knows she's linked to House Karna as well. Jackie's got to get her people to make sure this place is ready. And Jackie now realizes that whoever sent those reinforcements are playing, well, everyone involved in that war, apparently. Isabella has got an idea now what to do to try to deal with the Tessa situation. Jenny, damn Jenny, you've got offered to beat some ass for sure, because Lamar loved that. But you've also already got, well, a plan to make sure that you can, if there is a disaster, you can turn it to your advantage, which is actually very smart. Nicholas is now curious about just what's coming, because I can tell spirits active is kind of an odd thing. And Lamar got to face with Capone. And I'd like to thank the players for this episode and the viewers for watching it. Viewer vote. You know, it was looking for a minute there like we weren't going to have that many votes this week, but they all come piling in by the end. And so this week, everybody gets the viewer vote again. Damn it. I'm going to have to set a different threshold next week or next season for everybody getting the viewer vote, because Roscoe says no, because everyone keeps getting it, but there was a hidden threshold that I count for everyone, and apparently somebody's figured it out. So please, right now, pop over to the Discord, put in who you think in Chi-Town chat should get the viewer vote. Plus, so I can point out, we have 5 open casting calls at the moment. 5.
By the time this airs, 2 of them will have closed.
Which ones?
Mine and Tis and.
Okay, so we'll have
Tiss's.
3 when this airs.
Mhm.
A Dead of Night casting call, which closes
Monday.
Mm-hmm. We have a Mage the Ascension casting call, which closes on the 11th.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we have a Windy City After Dark casting call that actually closes on the 11th as well.
No, I think Ravnos Archons was it the 12th?
I thought it was the 11th. Either way.
We
have
but
over a
it's
week
this
left on 2 of them.
Yeah.
The casting call for Windy City is, of course, for a one-shot set in the canon universe of Windy City that relates to something that's been going on with the coterie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a chance for the viewers to be part of the story. And those casting calls are open, so please pop over again. Like I said, Discord. Plus, we do community games. We've got a Blood on the Clock Tower non-streamed game set for the 26th at 3 p.m. And we do weekly Zoom chats with everybody. And it's just a great place to come hang out. We got some good people. So, but most importantly for this show, go vote. Cast loves when you vote.
Please vote, and also tell us what you really liked about the episode. We love hearing that.
Give them feedback.
And you'll get to see Mama's, little feedback on everybody's performance, because I like to watch it too as a viewer on Sundays right with you.
You want to catch our back episodes? YouTube, right over here. You've got the YouTube for, of course, the main studio YouTube, which is the Windy City After Dark, all of our other World of Darkness products, and a bunch of one-shots we've run. There's the Ishvel YouTube, which covers Ishvel, which was our now ended D&D 5e stream. And, of course, the London Esoteric Society. And then the Haunted Chronicles, which was Tamshu's ended Chronicles of Darkness stream, and his Curse of Strahd, which is ongoing. Mm-hmm. So check out those YouTubes. If you want to check out some great content creators, right over here. There's one of them, Mischievous Red. I mean, we got to shout out those who are on the stream. So right there, give her a follow. Go hang out with her a bit. Merchandise. Get your Season 5 merch. I don't know what's changing with Season 6 merch, if it is or not, but either way, get you some merch. There's some cool shit. You can get the mugs, you can get posters, notebooks. I mean, we got a bunch of things that just, if for anyone who's wanting a Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would t-shirt, make sure you log in because it hides it if you're not logged in.
Log in because I have to set it as basically adult or, the adult rating on it because it has a swear word on it for Zazzle. So please log in an account where you have your birth date and everything associated so they know you're over 18 and you'll be able to see it.
And then you too can be a camp counselor at Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would because we had to do that for Lamar down there. If you want to support this channel, of course, you can pop over right here. You can follow us here on Twitch. You can subscribe on Twitch. If you don't like the fact that Twitch takes half the money when you subscribe because they're a bunch of pimps, they fucking gouge us. We have a Ko-fi over here that you can go over to support the studio. If you want to support the players, doesn't count for Valin and I. This is for the players. Bits and donations, those go to the players, not to the studio. So you have two options. You can give bits or donations for the players, or you can support and give money to the studio. Either way, we do it because we love it. But
or you can do both.
Or you can do both.
If you're feeling exceptionally generous.
That's right. We do this because we love it. We're not doing it to make money. But I'm not going to lie. It is expensive producing, and time is valuable even for the players. And they spend money too. They have costumes. They have outfits. Roscoe spent God knows how much on shirts.
I mean, look at that. Look at that fancy black shirt tonight.
Yep. So, there's expenses there too. So, if you want to, if not, we never lock anything behind a paywall. That is the policy of our group, actually, the studio as a whole. I think I've said all the main things. So now I can turn it over to my lovely wife for the schedule.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us for Season 5, Episode 9 of Windy City After Dark. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, it is the return of Tormented Souls, D&D 5e Curse of Strahd campaign run by Tamshu. It is continuing where the last season left off, so we're picking up with Episode 7 of that series that is ongoing. And that group is definitely on the road to ruin, so join them there at 8 p.m. Eastern right here at McStabber Studios. Then on Saturday, we have London Esoteric Society at 3 p.m. Eastern. That is going to be the season finale of this season of London Esoteric Society, our Call of Cthulhu 7E Victorian London stream. You'll want to tune in to catch the end of that because already, poor Miss Maddie, she returned finally last week from when we recorded. So I don't know what's going to happen this week coming up on the 5th, but on the 12th, I feel sorry for Maddie because she came back and her first session went totally batshit insane.
It's Call of Cthulhu. She's going to go insane. There'll be nothing but insanity. It's all insanity for everybody all the time. Just saying.
So join us then Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern for that. And then on the 13th, well, most importantly, it is the Ivy Raven's birthday on the 13th.
On the season finale. It's her birthday. Amazing.
Yeah, so we will definitely be shouting that from the rooftops on that day. And that will be the day of our Season 5, Episode 10, our season finale of Windy City After Dark. Jackie's prepping for her coterie to endure the storm that's coming because none of them are leaving, but she is. She has something to take care of in Edinburgh.
Yep. And it's definitely coming. And
yep. And the rest of the crew is basically handling their business to batten down the hatches.
Batten down the hatches and hold tight and dig in and pray you survive.
Yep.
Nicholas is going to have a busy time with all of his funeral services because there's going to be a lot of dead people.
There's going to be a lot of dead people.
It's going to be a problem. So
he going to be making that money.
And happy for once because, he's going to have a smile on his face as he's, So, he doesn't smile about anything but death. And as always, everybody, mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. We take mental health very seriously at McStabber Studios. Please check in on those around you. Make sure they're okay. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people are struggling right now. And sometimes it just takes a friendly voice or someone to reach out to them to be a handhold they need or a rope they need to pull themselves off the ledge, or sometimes they've already gone over it. You can help pull them back up. And if you do suffer from mental health issues like most people do, honestly, please, right now in chat, there's a list of names and numbers that you can text, call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can talk to somebody who's going to talk to you without judgment and going to try to help you through it, because we all need help sometime. And if you're not in the U.S., because I know we have a number of viewers that are not U.S. based, there's a website in chat right now that you can go to, that you can put in the country of where you're at, and you can get a list of numbers there to help you, because everybody, mental health is health. And it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Just take care of yourself. And it's very important, because we want everyone to be here. And I'm going to let my wife do her part, because if you watch the show, you know what we end with every time.
Absolutely. Please, I'm Mama McStabber, nicest mean nurse you'll ever meet. Timber Brad down here, meanest nice nurse you'll ever meet. We're going to tell you.
Get your damn shots.
That's right. Legit. Omicron variant is starting to decrease. It is. It is starting to decrease. That doesn't mean it's gone. It's just starting to decrease in occurrence. But deaths are still on the rise, because that is the normal way that pandemics go. It really is. Deaths will eventually stabilize and decrease, but first we got to get through all those people that were sick and not vaccinated, because the mass majority of people dying from Omicron variant have not been vaccinated. Getting fully vaccinated and boosted increases your chances of survival of COVID by 96%. I'm just putting the facts out there for you. You don't have to buy them if you don't want to. But I'm just going to tell you, if you don't, something is wrong with you, because the facts are there. You need to protect yourself and protect others. Get your damn shots.
You playing Russian roulette.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. You know, it's just a matter of time. So,
Mm-hmm.
And I thank everyone for coming, and I thank the viewers and the players. As somebody just mentioned in Zoom chat, by the way, hard to believe we're almost at the season end.
Hmm.
Gone fast this season. But
They always do.
they always do. So from the cast of this amazing show and as storyteller of this amazing group of players, I thank you all, and we will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.